Now, only being fresh in the NBL, the NBL Next Stars program has managed to already develop and produce future NBA players. These include RJ Hampton, NBA Rookie of the Year LaMelo Ball, and the number 6 pick in the 2021 NBA Draft, Josh Giddey. Even before this program, the NBL had produced NBA regulars like Terrence Ferguson and Joe Ingles. 7 of the Australian Boomers bronze medalists had spent time in or are still playing in the league today. So the NBL has no problem in developing and producing players to play in some of the best leagues in the world. This year's class of Next Star players is probably the most exciting and longest list yet, boasting players from all around the world from France, Russia, Kenya, and more. Welcome back to TH Sports. Today we're giving you NBL Next Stars 2021. As a little disclaimer, I relied heavily on NBA Scouting Live and Basketball.RealGM to gather most of my information on these top international prospects, and I recommend you guys check out these sites for any information on upcoming draftees. First off, we have Ousmane Dieng. Dieng is a 6'7" 18-year-old from France who will be suiting up for the New Zealand Breakers. So what do we know about Dieng? Well, Ousmane was recently ranked by ESPN as the number 14 best available prospect for the 2022 NBA Draft. That has him somewhere between the lottery range. So who are his NBA comparisons? Many scouts believe that he has the potential to be like Paul George and Michael Porter Jr. What makes scouts believe in this is his shooting. Ousmane isn't afraid to shoot, and particularly with his size, he doesn't have trouble with defenders marking him. He loves to shoot. In the film or scene, he particularly loves a pull-up shot or hitting them from beyond the arc. Creating a shot just comes easy to him. His shooting, although is one of his strengths, it also comes as a weakness, as he loves to shoot too much, making poor shot decisions. There's many times where he has forced himself into bad shots, which could have been utilised much better. Although he is only young, his decisions making could use some improvement. Now this is just me nitpicking, as he's young and his sample size only comes from playing in the French 3rd Division from the age of 16. Ousmane Dieng comes as a really intriguing prospect, and it'll be interesting to see how he fits in at the Breakers. Whether they'll give him the keys to showcase his talents or give him a role to work on and develop is completely up to the organisations, but many eyeballs will be watching the Breakers this season. Next up, we have Ariel Hukporti. Hukporti, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, is a German Togolese who will be playing for the reigning NBL champions Melbourne United. Although only 19 years old, he has had 3 years of professional basketball experience playing in the German Bundesliga for 2 of those years and the Lithuanian last year. During this time, he was able to take out 2020 NBA Basketball Without Borders MVP during the All-Star Weekend in Chicago. Ariel is an athletic big man who loves to get putbacks. He's fairly good in the post with great footwork for a 7-footer, and he's not afraid to shoot from deep. Although he's not afraid to get his shot off, his shooting percentages do pay the price for this. And as good as his highlights are, he seems to be a turnover prone and is inconsistent with the shooting. If this comes as too much of a problem, this could lead to a drop off in minutes, as Melbourne would no doubt be trying to win a championship more than developing a player. His NBA comparison is Thomas Bryant, so he's not going to set the world on fire, but he could carve out a similar role such as Bryant, and he could possibly make it in the NBA. Although the Lithuanian League is a very, very good league, I feel like the NBL will be a step up for him and could pose as more of a challenge. However, if he puts the work in and his averages increase, his draft stock could definitely take a rise and possibly get picked late in the first or early in the second. Nikita Mikhailovsky is a 20-year-old prospect coming from Russia. The 6'7" forward will be suiting up for the new NBL team, the Tasmanian Jack Jumpers. The young Russian has been playing in the Russian team Avdor Saratov since the 2017-2018 season to the 2020-21 season. While playing in the top Russian league, he has managed to win Young Player of the Year twice as the top player under the age of 22. Nikita has also balled out at a variety of different youth tournaments, most notably during the 2019 Under-19 FIBA World Cup, where he was able to score 20 points, 13 rebounds, and 12 assists in a win against Greece. So what skill set does Nikita bring to the Jack Jumpers? Most notably, he's a sniper. Nikita loves to shoot, and he's good at it, shooting a 3-point percentage of over 40% in his career in the top Russian league as a teenager. He also likes to drive and is quick enough to separate some space between him and his defender. He's also a willing passer, nothing to raise your eyebrows at, but he will look for the open man. His main weakness is his defense. With his frame and lack of muscle, he struggles to stay in front of bigger players and sometimes lacks discipline and gets lost. Also to do with the size is that he struggles with finishing, as bigger players can easily stop him when he goes to the rim. It'll be interesting to see how the Jack Jumpers go this season, and whether Nikita can play a part in establishing them as an NBL team that is here to stay. He's not on the radar as some of the other prospects, but he could possibly be taken in the late second round. Here we have Makur, a 20-year-old Kenyan-born prospect who will be representing the Sydney Kings in the upcoming NBL season. Although he was Kenyan-born, Makur grew up in Perth, Australia, and he is younger cousin of both Thon and Makur, the later playing with him at the Kings. Makur then moved to the US to play high school ball and turned into one of the best prospects coming out of the 2020 class, being a 5-star recruit and getting offers from many top colleges. He then became the highest ranked recruit to join a historically black college, being Howard. However, his time there was short, and after a groin injury after 2 games, his time in college was done. What stands out for Makur is his speed and athleticism for his size. He's 7 foot, but plays like a guard. He likes to shoot, get to the rim, and use post moves. He's also a willing passer and defender. Where his weaknesses lie is his turnovers. Makur in just his 2 games at Howard turned the ball over 11 times, and with someone who likes to dribble at his height, it could be a problem. Another thing that I've noticed, and it's not too much of a bad thing, but he seems to try too hard. This leads to him trying to make a play every time, leading to turnovers or bad shots. With good coaching, this could be easily fixed, and I'm not too concerned about this. Makur will most likely get drafted in the 2022 NBA draft, and if he plays well, hopefully he can get selected in the first round. Tom Digby is a 19-year-old born in Spain who will be testing his talents at the NBL's Brisbane Bullets. He hopes to be like his father Alan and get drafted into the NBA. However, he might want to go a step further and possibly step foot on the NBA hardwood. Tom, who was raised in Spain, had his basketball career start through Barcelona. He was playing in the under-18 side just as a 15-year-old. After 3 seasons playing in Barcelona under-18s, he then transferred to Lithuania to help develop his professional career. Now, his numbers in Lithuania are nothing to bat your eyelids at, but his numbers aren't what's attracting scouts. What has scouts interested is his ability to get to the rim. He has no fear in going in and trying to draw a foul or get a bucket. He is also an above average defender and has decent athleticism, which could really help him get extra minutes in Australia. Where his weaknesses fall is his shooting. During his career so far, he's never managed to shoot the ball at an efficient rate, shooting around and below 40%, which could really make many teams very worried. Tom's athleticism and potential as a perimeter defender could see him get solid minutes at the Bullets, but he really needs to improve his shooting and decision making to keep his spot. Tom is projected in some drafts to go somewhere in the second round, although many do see him falling out. Hopefully a good season in the NBL can help his stock rise. Last but certainly not least is Sotto from the Philippines. Now technically he's not a part of the Next Stars program, instead he's listed as a developmental player. However, I couldn't pass up the opportunity to talk about him. Now Kai is a massive 7'2" centre who will be taking his talents to the Adelaide 36ers. Kai stood out from a young age, playing ball in the Philippines. He dominated in high school competition, having averages of 25.1 points, 13.9 rebounds, and 2.6 blocks per game. Kai would then move to the US to help further his talents and join the Skill Factory. In these tournaments, he would also go on to dominate competition, averaging 27 points, 10.6 rebounds, and 4.3 blocks and 3 assists in 3 games, where he was named MVP of the tournament. Through his plays, he got many offers from top Division 1 teams, but instead, he opted for the G League. Unfortunately for Kai, he was unable to play in the G League due to wanting to play for his international team. He and his team had a mutual agreement to part ways. In these international games, he was able to showcase some of his talents on the bigger stage, averaging 9 points and 7 rebounds in 20 minutes of play. Kai poses as a solid low post scorer, good rebounder, adept shot blocker, and pretty good playmaker for his size. His weaknesses are his shooting, free throws, and sometimes becoming too passive and just watching the games go past, when he could really get more involved both offensively and defensively. Kai's draft prediction seems to be somewhere in the second round, but if he can improve in his abilities against top competition in the NBL, maybe his stock might take a rise and he could be a possible first rounder. Like always, thank you guys for watching and listening. Any support would be greatly appreciated, and something as little as liking this video or subscribing to this channel could really help. Let me know what you guys think of the current crop of NBL Next Stars. Will they go on to play in the NBA? Will they find a home in the NBL? Or do you believe in something else? Let me know below in the comments.